What's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here with another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. So with me is always my buddy, my coach, my pal, the man with the plan, the guy who's still living high off that gangrene win like I am. Because I'm hyped, boy. You know, I don't know why I'm hyped, John. Let me tell you why I'm hyped. I'll tell you right now why I'm hyped. We're going to go over the pond. We're going to go across the pond. We're facing the Atlanta Falcons. They're not going to handle us. We're going to get this other dub. Going to right now. I'm with you on this one.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
We're getting this win. We're getting this win.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, man. I'm hyped, dude. I'm hyped for London week. We are prepared. Salah, let's just get into it. Salah, this is like what, his third or fourth time across the pond because he was the coach of the Jaguars for a bit. They already have their schedule set up. I am ready for the Jets to take down this depleted Falcons squad. I mean, looking at this game from like before last week, the Falcons would be like, okay, no matter what happens against the Giants, it's all good. We got the Jets coming up, and that'll be a get right game. After last week, the momentum is completely shifted. Like, they don't want to see us right now going into this bye week, as Justin Hardy was screaming about it after the game balls in the locker room. I am hyped right now, man. I'm trying to contain it as much as I can. I got the Revis jersey on. I'm finally letting him come back in my good graces. He tweeted out JETS, right? As soon as the game ended, he's all over it. He's watching. I mean, we have 0 wins. He's excited about the first win of the team. Like, I mean, you have to be some sort of fan. I mean, we have our very own video producer, Greg, which you can catch him on Winning Picks Weekly, which is also now officially part of the Bet-Sided network, which is part of the Fan-Sided and 1 Minute Media family. He is a Jets fan, and he's not as happy as Darrelle Revis was, who, was a Patriots fan.
You know why? Do you know why he's not happy? Because he called last week that the Jets would lose. With me, I was wrong. We were both wrong. We were both wrong that the Jets would lose. You had it right, John. The Jets were going to win last week, and you called it. And the reason for why Greg also didn't show up for last week's podcast, why he didn't want to be on with us. He claimed that he had to go to a wedding that we found out was a lie. He was actually afraid of you because he said that you're a crazy person after the Jets win. So, Greg, you have your moment right now if you want to add any 2 cents on why you left us.
For the record, I wasn't just at a wedding; I was in a wedding. So let's start.
This is quite the story now.
Yeah, let's start
adding on to the story.
John is a crazy person. There's not much. I mean, you can go back, you listen to the episodes every week. Oh, Jets are gonna win. The Jets are gonna win. I said you had to prove it. I was hoping for first downs. We got first downs. I was hoping to get into the red zone. We got into the red zone. And we scored. I like it. I'm happy now. We're doing all right. We got Atlanta this week. Very winnable game. Tough to be over in London, but hey, that's all right. I think, like John was saying, I think we're probably pretty prepared now. Let's try to get it. Let's get a little winning streak going here, boys. 2 in a row.
All right, there we go. Video producer Greg is on with us for the winning. Let's get this 2-0. All right, so let's get into this, John. We got the Atlanta Falcons this week. As we already said at the beginning, we're going across the pond to London and Tottenham, where you will be rooting for the green and white in the front row. Again, bird's eye view, not even a bird's eye view, honestly. You're getting like up and personal.
I don't even know what sideline I'm on, so I don't know if I'm excited for that or anxious.
Doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter. You're over in the UK. You're over in England. Everyone's wearing a different jersey. Everyone's wearing some jersey over there. It's not even going to be a true Falcon section, Jet section. You're not in enemy territory. You're in happy territory. Truly, everyone's just happy that there's a football game being played in that area. So doesn't matter where you're sitting.
They already have the Jets bar and the Atlanta Falcons bar like designated like territorial bars in the city where Nick Mangold, who is now on our brother network, Bet-Sided as well. He's going to be doing a meet and greet at that bar. And I guess that's where they're going to be hanging out. I'm curious, man. I'm curious about how England's going to act with the COVID situation, how it's going to be, how like the gatherings are going to be. But I'm definitely hyped about this game, dude. Sunday is going to be insane. As a football fan, as a football guy, right, as they say, I'm a little upset that I'm missing the 9 o'clock wake up of football, right? Because you just wake up straight into it.
I get that.
So
I get it.
I get to experience it next week, right? We have Miami, Jacksonville, so at least I'll get that. But that's the one thing I'm missing. I'm gonna be a little bit jealous about from you guys. Like it's gonna be midday for me. I'll be like screaming, yelling. You guys are gonna be just waking up having coffee. Just
I'm actually gonna enjoy that, man. You know, people talk about that on like the West Coast or even being out in Hawaii for that matter, where you just get to wake up and football's on. I honestly, that would be great instead of having to wait for, you know, you go through your day, you're trying to get things going. Although it might suck for fantasy because you want to, you know, have that morning to get fantasy ready if you don't want to do it the night before. But
the end is my issue.
Like that's what I'm going to. That's what I'm going to is that it's the end. It's that, oh wow, now you just spent your entire day watching football where you could have still had like your evening left, but it is what it is. Excited for the Jets to be on early this upcoming Sunday. Should be, you know, it'll be a lot of fun. Like I said, I think they'll win this week. But we got the Atlanta Falcons, man. As you noted, they're depleted. That's why I'm kind of like in the hopes that the Jets can win, or not in the hopes, but I'm confident that they go out there and win. We saw them bounce back. You know, I said that they may take the Titans game to really get back on track for this game, but it seems like they were able to bounce right back on track after having 2 poor weeks and showing something in the last quarter in week 1 against the Panthers. So now we saw that Zach Wilson, Robert Saleh, the defense, everybody come together. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the offense, man. Let's start off with, what do we expect? I like to start off with the offense because everyone's just ready for the offense. The young rookie quarterback, how is it going to happen? What do you think the Jets have to do against the Atlanta Falcons defense in order for them to win? What do you got?
First of all, shout out to LaFleur and Tevin Coleman for these revenge games, right? On that side of the ball. I'm hyped for what they're definitely gonna draw something up. So I'm excited for that, especially because it's in London. It's always wacky things in London. As it's very well noted, it's always over, right? There's always so many points in London. So things are wacky. I'm excited for that. But from the offense in general, the strength of the Falcons are their inside linebackers. So it's going to be tough trying to get our running game going. But it's really interesting. The head coach for the LA Clippers, like we like to say, but they're really the Chargers, Staley, he came out and he said something really interesting, which I like to point out. He's talking about the running game, and it's how important the running game is for your quarterback. And he was obviously talking about his team and Justin Herbert, but it applies. You don't even necessarily need to get yards. You just need to establish a run. And he was trying to kind of draw that line between kind of causing havoc, causing punishment against these linemen. And once you make them hesitate from that, that's what establishing the run is. And then once they respect you, then you can throw over the top. And so that's what this game's going to come down to. As always for these Jets, it's going to be a sloppy defensive game, but from the offense, we just have to keep it to 3rd and short and see what happens and trust Zach Wilson, right? So the running game is going to have to open the 1 and 2, right? Zach Wilson maybe could find something here. That's where LaFleur really comes in. And then Zach Wilson has to shine in the 3rd down. Where I think he's going to shine in the 3rd down is where the Falcons are depleted. And that's their nickel corner. Isaiah Oliver, their starter, he's out for the year. They have Avery Williams, a rookie kick return specialist. He's now their starting cornerback for at nickel. Just as it may be, and as we saw last week, Jameson Crowder is our best slot receiver. Behind him, our second best receiver is Braxton Berrios, also a slot receiver. And then, Corey Davis, you saw him get it together in that second half. If he could ride that momentum, I expect the Jets to not get that many yards on the ground, but I think they're going to come up with some clever plays. They're going to try to get a lot of these receivers the ball fast, and they're going to try to make the Falcons make a tackle. That's what Staley was talking about. Like, make them make a tackle, because I really don't think this Falcons team is going to be able to make a tackle, man.
I agree with you. And, just let's just even stick on establishing the run game for a second. Like last week, our offense had 66 total rushing yards, right? 38 yards specifically for Michael Carter. It doesn't have to be glamorous, right? Like we saw Melvin Gordon, we saw Derrick Henry, we've seen Christian McCaffrey just be able to run and get a lot of yards on us rushing wise. We don't necessarily need that, as you said, but you saw what happened last week when the Jets were just able to establish a run. It opened things up for Zach Wilson. It opened things for him to do play action, to get out of the pocket, to really extend the play, look for guys downfield. You can always highlight back to him pointing down, directing Corey Davis to go to the end zone because they've already established a run. Beautiful pass. So that is the type of just establishing the run. It's not going to be pretty. Our running game is not pretty. It's not dominant. But we have to at least establish something where they have to honor it. And even when you see our running backs get those yards, right? Whether it's Michael Carter last week for 13 being the longest out of all the people who rushed last week, including Zach Wilson, you start to honor that as a defense, and you have to be prepared for them trying to run. So just adding on to what you said, we have to establish the run just to get Zach Wilson going. But to add on to that, and kind of what we talked about when we were on the Philo podcast, if you guys want to check that out, we also broke down the Jets taking on the Atlanta Falcons this week yesterday. So make sure to go to your YouTube channel, Fila, Fila, and go check out us over there breaking down the game there. We also discussed, John, and you pointed out there that we're going to have to rely on Jamison Crowder and Braxton Berrios, because if the Falcons defense is going to hone in on anybody, it will be Corey Davis. This is just kind of what we've seen week to week to week. You have to hone in on Corey Davis. That is Zach Wilson's guy, even though, as we know, Jamison Crowder has the most sure hands on this team. He's still going to go for Corey Davis. He's a big guy. If he gets the ball, he can just body people and get that yak. So I'm expecting Jamison Crowder. I'm expecting Braxton Berrios. I'm even expecting Keelan Cole to get some good touches in there. We know Elijah Moore is back. He's healthy, ready to go this weekend. I don't know how much I can expect from Elijah Moore. I think he's just going through that rookie wide receiver year. I don't expect him to necessarily have those. I'm high on Elijah Moore. Don't get me wrong on that. It's just hard to see after the first couple of weeks that he's going to come bursting out into the scene and really get everything going. So I'm really expecting Jamison Crowder and Braxton Berrios to be leading for this team, with Zach Wilson obviously getting them the ball. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think Elijah Moore could play into that little trickery. I think he can catch a screen here or there, maybe do some wide receiver, end arounds, try to get involved in the game. I really do. I think LaFleur is ready, man. I think LaFleur really wants to stick it to the Falcons. I can't see how he doesn't. And on the opposite side of the ball, Ulbrich was also a defensive coordinator for the Falcons. I mean, we are like our coordinators right now are going insane. It is a true revenge game. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's a crazy advantage to have off the field. I mean, and just recently we've learned from NFL players, they keep telling us now that is a real thing. I mean, the emotions, like the Mannings are telling us, we could see it with Tom Brady. The first time we saw Tom Brady stumble with emotion, like, and you know what I'm saying? It's so obvious. So I think revenge games do mean something.
So let me ask you this, because you did mention Tevin Coleman. Do you think Tevin Coleman goes off? Do you think we see LaFleur just give Tevin Coleman a lot of burn, or like, and by a lot of burn,
goal line touch, bro. He's getting a goal line touch. Yeah, if we're on the goal line, it's going to Coleman.
But as much as I dislike the three-headed monster running back situation we got going on, I don't disagree with that take, because as we saw last week against the Tennessee Titans, 1 yard needed, that man jumped for 1 yard.
Yeah, and he's gonna be hyped, dude. Like that little extra motivation to like study a little bit harder for those coordinators to get that extra play for Tevin Coleman to hit that, just like get that extra yard, get that, because he's hyped, man. He wants to stick it to the Falcons. You want to stick it to your old employer. You want to stick it to your ex-girlfriend. You want to, I mean, they cut you. They literally cut you. You know what I'm saying? Like you had a contract with them and then they said, nah, go, we don't want to pay you, go home.
Exactly.
So it's personal. You know what I mean? And as much as we like to say that's nonsense, I think it means something.
It does mean something. Look, that's why we call them revenge games, right? Revenge games. Like, look, Fitzpatrick has a revenge game every week. But I think for Tevin Coleman, like, you're right, man. Look, the Falcons, he was the backup with the Falcons. He was good on the Falcons. He was just injury prone. Goes to the 49ers. Now he's with the Jets. I can see this as a good revenge game for Tevin Coleman. I think this is going to be that game that he breaks one loose. I honestly am putting that, like, because as you pointed out too, and it's true, like, just look at all the games that happen over in England, right? They're all bonkers. Like, scoring wise, no such thing as like a low scoring game. Watch, now that we said that we're gonna get the lowest scoring game in England, but
I hope not.
I hope not too.
The Jets play sloppy. Like, I just hope we win. I don't care, obviously, but
a win is a win.
I don't know if Zach Wilson could. You think the Jets could really put up with a shootout?
Honestly,
we had 8 quarters.
But what about the Falcons'
no
defense?
touchdowns.
Do you like the Falcons' defense like that? Because I don't think the Falcons' defense is good like that. I honestly don't.
I don't like their defense, but I
don't rely on Zach Wilson to bail us out in a shootout every single week. I think that would be crazy.
Or ever. Come on.
No. Like, but look, and I'll say this, and I'm going to throw the clock back. I'm throwing the clock back. Remember, we had a certain rookie quarterback under Rex Ryan, not Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith. And what did he do to the Atlanta Falcons? We were in a shootout with them. And he won. He also beat the Pats. He beat the Saints that year. Like, he got into shootout with those teams. So, and I think Zach Wilson is a better quarterback than Geno Smith.
I don't think that's a hot take.
It's not a hot take. It's not a hot take whatsoever. Like, I'm just saying, like, I think Zach Wilson is better than Geno Smith. I think that if the game comes to a shootout, even though it's not what I want for a rookie quarterback, I think Zach Wilson is more than capable of doing it. Look, I just, and it's not saying he'll do this every week, but I think if we're talking about a team that has a bad defense and the opportunity is right where you're just riding off high, you're now confident. You got that first win under your belt as the QB for the New York Jets. You started doing the things that I was asking for, the dink and dunks, and then being aggressive downfield, knowing when to push it and having the intermediate routes. If you can build off of that for this week, I'm confident that Zach Wilson will be good for this game if it becomes a shootout, if he can do that.
I mean, Eric Davis is out. Their safety. They got Marlon Davidson's out. Their defensive linemen. They're again, like we said, their nickels out. Their best assets are their inside linebackers. That's why I'm not gonna depend on our running game too much, even though. Mm-hmm. Going back watching that game last week, Michael Carter had some runs, man. He put his head down. Runs. He likes to get physical. Yeah, he wants to ram his head into you. He does not care.
No, he's a physical running back.
That's good. That's big. That's big against a Falcons team that might not be so disciplined under Arthur Smith, as we saw. It's a neutral field, even though they're technically home. I mean, I think that's an advantage for us. Mm-hmm. Right, I think you're kind of like hyped about that, like, oh yeah, and I also think it cannot be underestimated the fact that Robert Saleh has done this 3 times. He knows he even said he's left on all the days of the week. He's like I've done it all. I left on all the days of the week. I've had all the games. He's like, I am ready for London, and I think that's a huge advantage. I cannot. Tune into Winning Picks Weekly for our segment. What am I missing? But what the hell am I missing? That the Falcons are favorites by 3 points in this game? This line makes no sense to me. I plus 3 points, the Jets plus 3. That's an insane line to me. You could tease that to 9.5 to 10. Like that to me is bananas.
You know what the whole point? I mean, Vegas wants to make it interesting for someone to take, right? So you have it at 3 to make it. Dude, this should be a money line game, dude. They're both 1-3. They both technically stink. Like the Jets are almost better in every like defensive category. Obviously not. We're about to get to the defense. Like the Falcons' offensive line is the worst thing I've ever seen after the Dolphins. Like it's really bad out there. Like how, and then you're facing the Jets, who are ranking, Bryce Huff ranking top
4 and 3 and rush rates, and then he's getting double teamed, like TJ Watt and Joey Bosa. We have, the Williams bros causing absolute havoc.
Mhm.
And then they, at the same time, they used to have, our backup left guard. Now he's out. Then they had Jalen Mayfield, who absolutely stunk. And now they have Colby. I don't even know his name, Colby Gassett or something, who was a 6th-round pick 2 years ago. He's going to be their starting left guard, apparently. Like they're in for a tough day versus this desperate Jets defensive front who are staring at a bye week. They need this win to go into the bye week 2 and 3. They cannot go 1 and 4. It makes a huge difference for them, and the momentum is just riding on our side so hard. And the only thing that worries me is the fact that obviously the Falcons lost last week versus a stinky Giants team. You don't ever want to be in that position, especially at home. That's not great. But secondly, the Falcons offense has the exact tools to beat the Jets.
So let's get into it then.
Yeah.
So let's get into this. Let's get into the defense and start it off right here. So what do you see for the Jets defense? What do they have to stop on the Atlanta Falcons side?
I mean, anyone with 2 eyes could easily tell you that answer is Cordarrelle Patterson, right? That's the easy answer. Cordarrelle Patterson has been an enigma. You're talking about everyone making fun of Josh Gordon, like, oh, he hasn't been good since 2013. I feel like Cordarrelle Patterson has been in the league running like kick returns back since I was like 6. Like I don't know, like it was an infant. Like I have no idea how long he's been in the league, and all of a sudden now he's a running back / wide receiver.
Yes, that's the weird part.
Like
he's a gadget man.
He's like the best player on. He's like the best. He's Brad Smith on steroids. I don't know where it came from. He is the exact type of player that kills the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Ridley, honestly, because those guys aren't going deep, and players going deep is honestly, we've been doing well against that. The cornerbacks have been showing out. Our secondary has been fine. It's really when you get that James White nonsense, like I used to call it, these little dink and dunks where they find these wide receivers, they scheme it up against us, and they just catch us. You know what I mean? They catch our linebackers who don't have that much experience. We get schemed up. And that's what I'm worried about. Like a screen to Russell Gage if he plays, like Calvin Ridley, kind of getting us if they're in the red zone for some reason. And Cordarrelle Patterson, like catching these dink and dunks. Like we're about to sack Matt Ryan, somehow gets it to Cordarrelle Patterson. All of a sudden it goes from like 3rd and 12, now it's a 1st down. The field has changed. The whole momentum's gone. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And like I guess Cordarrelle Patterson, because I'm not afraid of Mike Davis. I don't think Mike Davis is this crazy running back. I think our D line can handle him.
He's not doing anything, bro.
He's not who we faced the last couple weeks. He's not Derrick Henry. He's not Christian McCaffrey. He's none of those guys. So
I'm the Denver running backs.
No, he's not. He's not Melvin Gordon. He's not Williams. So what do we got to worry about here with Mike Davis? I mean, you still got to honor him because he did an okay job when he was on the Panthers last season, but I think our defense showed I'm not expecting the same output that we had last week against the Tennessee Titans.
7 sacks or bust, Alex.
7 sacks or bust. This is just
like 13 QB hits, dude. Like we killed it out there.
We did. And the good thing for us is like you have Russell Gage is out, Calvin Ridley, as we were on field, he doesn't want to get hit. So he's going to be worried. And our cornerbacks, like they've been playing well, man. Like our cornerbacks have been playing well. So I'm not too worried having a guard. Goodread came up big. I mean,
he's been having an amazing year, bro.
Eccles is playing well. Like I think those guys can handle Calvin Ridley, Christian Blake, Cordarrelle Patterson if he lines up there. These guys aren't scary guys. So that makes our job easier for the defensive line.
Do we know if Eccles is traveling? He got that neck injury. I was kind of worried about him. But who we stepped up, Michael Carter stepped up, the Michael Carter brothers, man. I mean, it only took 4 weeks for them to show up. It's really impressive. What do you see in this Falcons offense? I mean, it's not going to be their slot wide receiver if Javelin Goodry is our strength, and it's not going to be Mike Davis. I mean, is it anything else except for Cordarrelle Patterson and Ridley? Are you worried about Kyle Pitts? Because we've been really good against the tight ends. Is this the week we break there?
No, I don't think this is a week we break against Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts hasn't really done anything, honestly, to me that warrants, he's a rookie tight end. Like he's not Greg Olsen. Like I'm not saying like these guys were great their rookie years. I'm just saying he's not at that level where you have to honor him. He's not a Rob Gronkowski or Aaron Hernandez, one of that caliber where they were rookies and you're like, whoa, you got to watch out for these guys. So I think the Jets, it's not that they have an easy job. No week is ever easy because this is the NFL. Any given Sunday does exist, but this is a good matchup for the Jets to continue their winning streak. So
start a winning streak.
Yeah, go on their
winning streak. He's like continue to winning streak. When was the last time I can't believe the Jets are even in
they won one. It's the start of a winning streak. So like you win one, that's
I know. Well, like I can't even get as excited as I am. It's just hard for me to imagine the Jets it's gonna say, W2 and then the bye week, which is always my favorite week. Right, because you can't lose the bye week, so that's a 3-game winning streak in my head.
Except last year, if you had Adam Gase, he would have lost the bye week, so it's all good.
That's true.
But no,
update. I don't see Eccles on the injury report.
Yep, I was about to say he's questionable.
Okay, but the thing that we didn't mention actually is Hamza. Hamza to the IR on an undisclosed injury, which kind of weird. It kind of weirds me out. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's short-term IR.
Me too.
Thank God for the Williams brothers. Hopefully do they have any more brothers?
Do they have any more? Please, anyone out there?
We need the Giannis brothers.
Can you imagine? Can you actually? Is that what he's gonna? Is this what's gonna happen? Except the Williams brothers are better than the Giannis brothers, where the Thanasis only comes out in garbage time. He's just a hype man.
How about the Watts? We'll compare him to the Watts.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice combo. Or like the Bosas.
That'd be cool. But
yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're not saying that.
Is Mims out?
Mims is
quick.
He's questionable right now. He's questionable.
He has a stomach thing, man. This whole stomach thing is so weird. What's going on with this guy?
I don't know, man.
That's so weird.
I don't know.
Too much salmon. He literally said salmon last time. He's eating more salmon. Is that really a thing? Last year we have our quarterback. You got getting mono. This week we have our second-year wide receiver who's
stop. I'm not going there. Right now. We're not going there. We're not going there. I'm still living high off the win, man. Still living high. Don't do this to me.
What do you see about this Falcons offense, man? Tell me about the Falcons offense.
I think it's all going to come down to just Matt Ryan. It's going to come down to Calvin Ridley. It's going to come down to Mike Davis and whatever Kyle Pitts can do, man. That's really what it is. And those are the three guys you're going to have to rely on. They're going to do some gadget play with Cordell Patterson probably because they're just down guys. But what am I supposed to be worried about? Kyle Pitts, meh.
Backup punter Dustin Colquitt coming back, who they've been cutting back and forth. So he's in there now. You think they'll run a fake punt?
Potentially. I think this is a time where if you're Arthur Smith, you have to go for everything in the book to win. Because look, here, want to hear Kyle Pitts stats through all 4 weeks? Here you go. 4 for 9 for 50 yards, no touchdown. 2 for 3 for 35 yards, no touchdown. 5 for 6 for 73 for no touchdown. 4 for 8 for 31 for no touchdown. I'm not worried about a guy who's
he hasn't got a TD yet.
He has not gotten a TD yet.
Oh, it's coming. Oh, dude,
it's coming. It's coming.
Right now,
doesn't mean they're going to win
this week.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they're going to win, but
that's a nice prop bet.
But just based off that alone, he's getting targets, but is he catching them? Is he doing a lot? And you played teams such as the Washington football team, the New York Giants. You had a good game against the Buccaneers. You played the Eagles. If you're not doing it against those teams, and out of all of them, the Bucs have probably the best defense, and we got a good defense over here. I don't see it happen for Kyle Pitts. So I think it's not easy, but it's very doable. It's a very doable game for the Jets defense just to dominate.
I hope so, man. I really hope so. I mean, games are won at the line, and that's where we have a significant advantage at the line. So I honestly on both sides, especially with the injury at tackle, a defensive tackle for the Falcons. So That's why this line makes no sense to me. I know I'm a crazy person according to Greg, because I've been calling the Jets winning these games that they should be winning. Besides Denver, which I told you that I'm going to Mile High winning. I just wanted them to cover. But anyway, like I can't see Saleh not performing. He's talking about how he's prepared. The coordinators have a revenge game.
There's a lot on this line, man.
Zach Wilson's in prime time. Like, does this count as prime time? It's the only 9:30 game.
It's the only game. Yeah, I guess it is prime time, right?
I think it's a prime time game. It's 2:30 in London. It's in a huge stadium.
If all eyes are on you, it's prime time.
So I'm excited, man. I really am. I was this close just because of. I'll tell you why I agree with Greg and why. And sometimes I do think I'm a crazy person when it comes to the Jets, because after this last win, and as I'm going,
you put all your money in your house.
No, and I at the moment cannot find my DeBrick jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm it's still like a 6% chance in my brain is to go get a Zach Wilson jersey. The only issue is I literally hate the new jerseys. I really just don't like them.
I don't like them either, dude.
Yeah, and I think next year they're gonna actually fix them, but the only that's why I kind of agree with, like, I'm a crazy, because like last week that glimmer, just because I'm going to London, I was like, oh, this, like, it just, I had to, like, I know.
Those jerseys are those. I do not like the jerseys.
Honestly, if it was these jerseys, I would go get.
Oh yeah, what do you think is back there?
Jersey. I would go get a Wilson jersey.
Dude, I would go get like Elijah Moore
or Williams jersey.
Yeah, one of those guys. I'd even go
Mosley.
Out and get I don't know about
Lawson.
Mosley. I'd go get a Mekhi Becton jersey.
77 or Vera-Tucker. Just I like that long name on the back, left guard.
Yeah. And I used to wear, when I played O-line, my number was 76. So there was 77, 75. I was right in between. Right in between.
All right.
And then once I played wide receiver, I was 18. But I don't know, man. I think this week is going to be a good week for the Jets. Special teams. I'm going to give you, you're a special teams guy. What was everything broke right? You asked for it last
Everything
week.
Finally broke right, man. Morstead's a beast. I just want the Jets to punt. Like, I just don't want home runs. I don't want Zach Wilson to get too excited because it's a primetime game. If it's third and long, remember what I said going into this last game, that we have to be ready to get booed if we get 3 and outs. And that's exactly what happened. We had it was like 3rd and 14. We ran it with Michael Carter to get 2 yards and we got booed. But we had to be able to understand that we have a game plan. We have a defensive coach. We are a defensive team. Like, we have a rookie quarterback and we're going to protect him. Like, we saw that we have to protect him. So we're going to punt it. Now we have a veteran punter, and he did pretty good last week. And now he's in London. He has experience. He played for Super Bowl teams. He's nice to have, you know what I mean? And I don't mind him doing his thing. I'm curious as to how Ammendola is going to do. I promise you, I was really nervous about that kick, dude. I really was nervous. Was nervous.
You can't have it go sideways. You can't have it go sideways for an extra point. That's terrifying.
My heart stopped. As much as it stopped on the Stanton single home run. My heart stopped on that play. I'm not joking. And so I'm kind of worried about that, especially because they have an expert kicker. They have Koo is an absolute beast on that Falcons kick. He was a punter last week. He took up punting duties because their punter got injured. As we mentioned before, Colquitt, who they've been cutting all year, he's now their punter. So hopefully he messes up a couple punts. That'd be fantastic. Field position is going to be huge in this game. I'm just worried about Cordell Patterson, man. I really am. We had nice run backs last week. So, I mean, we're good, man. Justin Hardy's hyping up the team. I'm excited, dude. I think the Jets are going to really put on a huge show this week. Everyone's going to be like, oh my God, are the Jets back? Are the Jets back? We're going to have a bye week. And then we're going to be sitting versus the Patriots, and we're going to see what happens. Because we have to split the series versus the Pats, man. You have to start splitting division series. Like that just has to be a thing. So I know I'm looking. I know I'm jumping a little bit ahead of myself, especially because we have a bye week in between. We're gonna have plenty of time to get into it. But Justin Hardy said it, man, and the whole team was in on it. Like they closed off the team. The owner was there. The GM was there. The whole team is there. The whole organization. They all are on the same page. They're in a 2-game season right now. Like they won the first game and they have to win this game. It's a loser go home because the Falcons are 1-3 and the Jets are 1-3, and you just cannot go 1-4, man. You go 1-4, the season's done. It's over. Especially going into a bye week. You have to think about that.
Work.
Oh my goodness, dude.
No, it doesn't work.
And I have to think about that. Flying back. We just can't happen. I'm a loser going home. The Jets are losers going home. We cannot lose this game against the Falcons.
No, especially when after the bye week, you gotta go to New England and play the Patriots. No, you can't do that.
1-5.
No.
Yeah,
no.
Can't be.
No, can't do that. All right. So I agree with you, John. I agree with you on all those takes. What's your prediction? What's your score for this game?
Yeah. Okay. If this is just a normal game in America, normally I think this.
No. We know this is not America. This is United Kingdom. This is England. This is a weird game. We got to get rid of the weird game.
That's why I don't like, because the trend says London. The games are crazy. It has to be like 27-22 Jets. That's what it says because it's in London. But what it should be, like, realistically, it should be 16-10. Like that's what this game really should be.
I'm going 28-24 Jets win. Like that's
okay. I like
that's
it.
what
that's
what I got, because I
think got Jets on the over.
Oh yeah. It's we're talking England, baby. We're going over.
Nothing gets the adrenaline going like a 9:30 a.m. over.
Yeah, really weird. That's so weird. It's not 30 a.m. It's so I'm gonna love it, but it's also good. I'm gonna have my cup of coffee. We watch on TV. I'm like, this is very.
But it's not a relaxing game, which is, like next week I'm gonna do that, and it's gonna be Miami versus Jacksonville. I'm just gonna be chilling. So like whoever I have on the game, whoever fantasy, and we're just gonna be hanging out, having a nice time.
Facts.
But the Jets is not a nice time. I have to rewatch the game because I can barely fathom what I just saw. My emotions were too high or too low, or everything was happening. So it's too stressful.
Dude, those Red Fox gifs like of Sanford and Son that I was tweeting out from the account, like Jets just scored 2 TDs and one. That's legit me, dude. I'm like, this is about time. that's legit how I am. Watching the Jets games, like, it's stressful. It is very stressful.
Greg, but hey, do we have a prediction on the Jets on for the Knicks Jets etc. podcast for this week?
24-14 Jets.
Ooh, wow, all the same page. So you guys know what that means. Falcons 40-0.
Yeah.
Coming back depressed.
Oh man, no! Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do this.
You got Jets in the under, Greg, huh?
I can't pick the Falcons right. I put that. I'm known on Winning Picks Weekly as the worst Falcons better in America. So take all that with a grain of salt, Knicks, Jets, etc. fans. Can't get a Falcons game right to save my life. So.
Oh no, you're choosing them
Jets
to
by
lose?
10. That's what I feel in my heart of hearts. That's what I feel in my heart of hearts.
It's over, guys. It's over.
Yeah.
Mush. We have great.
We should not. We should. I forgot about this. I forgot about this rule. We should not ask Greg that question.
It's over. It's over. So, yeah. So that wraps it up, man. I'm so hyped for London. I'm bringing the mic out there. Try to get live reaction out there. I'll be. There's Jets bars that are already set up. We'll be there again, like I mentioned in the beginning, for there's Nick Mangold events, there's New York Jets events. That should be really cool. Games are on until 1 a.m. There's 24-hour bars. Hopefully COVID doesn't stop that.
Let's go.
So I'll be up all night, man. I'm literally going. I'm like I'm not gonna change my time schedule. Like I'm still gonna be on New York time, even though I'm there. Like I'm just whatever the light is outside. The light is
animal.
Outside.
This
like,
guy's a complete animal, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. But John, before we get out of here, we got to talk about one crazy news that happened with our divisional foes, the New England Patriots. They just they traded They traded Stephon Gilmore. It was reported initially that he got dropped, but he wasn't. He was traded to the Carolina Panthers for a 2023 6th-round pick. What is going on here, John? It makes no sense. Bill Belichick is off his rocker. The man can't do trades. He can't do draft picks. This man is, I don't know if this is a self-sabotage, like, yo, I'm out, but something's going on.
No. You got it all wrong here, man. This was, everybody knows that the Patriots and Stephon Gilmore have contract issues all year. He has a crazy contract, and you have to pay him a crazy amount. And nobody's going to pay that for a disgruntled cornerback. Nobody's going to pay for a high draft pick. And especially one that you know that you're going to get cut. And especially when your name is the New England Patriots. That's just the facts. No one's going to give Bill Belichick a first-round pick. It's just not happening, or just in that context. But for this specific case, a 6th-round pick is pretty nice for the Patriots. They were literally going to get nothing. It's not like they're going to get a comp pick for Stephon Gilmore like the Pats are used to. And for the Carolina standpoint, this was an amazing pick. I know who cares, 6th-round pick, but now they're stuck in that Leonard Williams, position, right? So Jets and Giants fans can relate. Where now, it sounds like nothing. Who cares? Give you a 5th, a 4th and a 5th. Who cares? Conditional for Leonard Williams, but now you have to pay him because you just gave up assets, and now you're giving up more assets, and that's all a football team has to develop. So it sounds like it's nothing. But it is something for the Patriots. They're really happy about that. For the Panthers, now they have to pay him. So teams don't want to get into that situation. You know what I mean? Teams don't want to get into a situation where now they have to pay this cornerback. And I don't what's crazy? I think Jace Horn is obviously he's badly hurt, but do you think they're worried that he's not going to come back healthy next year either?
That is a concern. Right. I mean, that is a legitimate concern. That's
crazy, dude. 1st-round pick from this year.
Yeah. What did he injure again?
His foot, I think.
Yeah. I mean, a foot injury for a corner. A foot injury for a corner, like a wide receiver, that's detrimental. We have that same issue with Mekhi Becton, but for a big guy, if you're strong enough to just deflect somebody at the line, it's different. You don't necessarily need the quickest feet at the line position. It helps and it makes a major impact. But when you're a wide receiver, when you're a quarterback, when you're any just skilled position in general and your foot is hurt, especially one that's based on speed, I think you got to get some insurance. So I think that's what this is. But the good thing that you pointed about is that this is just a 6th-round pick the Panthers had to give up. So they're not fully guaranteed to pay Gilmore, right? No,
they don't have to, but I think, I don't know. People don't just give up draft picks. I know to you, it sounds like nothing. I know who cares? 6th-round pick.
It's 2023. It's not even this upcoming year's draft pick.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think teams make trades. We should look it up. I just don't think NFL teams make trades with big contracts unless you're gonna resign. The whole thing was there's a contract dispute. You're gonna bring this guy into the locker room and have a contract dispute. You know what I'm trying to say? He's not playing. If he's not gonna play for the Patriots, he's not gonna play for you. You know what I mean? What you're bringing in.
Maybe. I mean, look, Jamal Adams went out to Seattle and they were in contract dispute this past offseason, but they still got 1 year where they didn't have to worry about that, right?
Well, he didn't hold out. He didn't hold out in the middle of the season, right? Stephon Gilmore is not playing this year because of a contract dispute. You trade for him. Obviously, he still has a contract dispute. He doesn't care what color the jersey is. You know what I mean? And especially if he's not playing for Bill Belichick and the Patriots, he's damn well not playing for Matt Rule and the Carolina Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Unless he gets his money. And
that's fair.
The Carolina Panthers, if I'm them, they see a path to the NFC Championship. It's Sam Darnold, so I guess it's we'll talk about it. And I know people want me to be upset about that, right? I'm not. He has 5 rushing touchdowns. He's breaking records right now I think that it literally is a record for the first 4 games of anyone. But he's killing it right now. No McCaffrey. The defense is killing it. With no Robbie Anderson stinks, and they're still fine. The Carolina Panthers are legit, man. They play defense and they run the ball. That's how you win in the winter. You know what I'm saying?
And they don't even have to worry about it because Carolina doesn't even get that cold in the winter. But when they got to travel, you're already established for that.
So bet.
It's definitely they laid it out like that Gilmore is in a contract dispute. He's definitely going to get paid, and there's probably some behind the scenes look, guy, like we need to come back now. We're going to pay you this offseason. Do you think they make a deal now for Gilmore? Like,
yeah, I think, and you know what I think is nonsense though, that at the same time the Patriots got Collins, who he's who also has a big contract.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit more than we don't know, right? There was a Malcolm Butler dispute with the Patriots, even though they say that was for Patricia.
It's funny that Collins got traded once before for a contract dispute.
That's what I'm saying. Collins has been all over. Now they're saying that Collins is going to come and be the best thing ever in the whole world. Okay, well, let's see. I don't know. There is shady things going on in New England, man. As we said, he paid all this money in the offseason for free agents, and not only that, non-premium positions. Like, things are weird, man. He's spending 25 minutes in the Patriots in the opposing team's locker room, talking to his ex-girlfriend, quarterback Tommy. Like Tommy and Billy having a nice chat in the locker room for 25 minutes. Like, things are weird in New England, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. I would not be surprised if and this is just like conspiracy theory. Like, this is obviously most likely won't happen.
Tinfoil hat, Alex.
Tinfoil hat. I'm like, I would not be surprised if Bill Belichick's like, bye. Like, just weird. Like, Bill Belichick hands the keys to McDaniels and says, I'm out after the season.
Where's he going? USC?
No, he retires, man. I mean, what?
Oh no, dude, this guy doesn't know anything except for football. He lives to be an arrogant football guy. This is what he lives for, man. He wants people to say you're the best, and you think he's gonna go before Tom Brady? You're nuts.
No, and like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Man.
That's why it's conspiracy.
Leave before he wins one.
That's why it's a conspiracy. That's why tinfoil hat. It's not real. The real thing for Belichick would be, I'm going to make Mac Jones the next quarterback and win with Mac Jones and show that I am the guy for the reason of Tom Brady.
I honestly think that the more we say that Mac Jones sucks, the happier Bill Belichick's going to be. Because that, like, the better they do with the bad quarterback. He's great? Yeah, that's all he wants. He just wants us to say, "Oh, Bill Belichick, he's the man." God, I hate this guy. Get him out of my face. I'll see you in 2 weeks, Billy. Our revenge game, baby.
Oh man! And on that note,
about to lose to another rookie Jets quarterback. I'm gonna start making a shirt with Jets rookie quarterbacks that beat Billy B. I'm ready to go.
I like it. And on that
note, I'm a crazy person, Greg. Let's go. Bring me to 500, baby.
On that note, that will cut it right there. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. If you listen to this podcast on Apple, you know what to do. Give us that 5-star review and leave us a comment. And if you don't listen there, it's okay. It's truly okay. Why? Because it's on Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it. We're there. On top of that, we're on YouTube too, baby. Come on. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Give us that like, because that's the right thing to do. And last but not least, what is it, John?
We're going to start premiering sometimes too. So we'll be able to live chat with you guys. If you interact, we'll be there. We'll talk to you guys. Ask us questions. Send us emails. Hit us up in the direct inbox. Message us on Twitter. Like, just hit us up with questions. We'll be happy to answer you. We'll talk about it. As always, man, you could also see Alex on Knicks Fan TV. He's always there. I mean, we're all over the place. We're on podcasts. We're on Knicks Media and Jets Media with Richie. We're all over the place, man. We're on the Atlanta podcast. You can catch us everywhere. Just hit us up with all your Knicks, Jets, etc.
That's all I like to do, man. Just talk. We just like to talk sports. That's why we do this. That's why we're here. You know why we're here. We're here to talk Jets and Knicks mostly. And last but not least, so I don't get fined. You know,
that's why I'm going to London, bro. You know why I'm here. Give me that W. I'm about to eat mad W's in Atlanta.
There we go. But then last but not least, okay. All right. That guy. Okay. Last but not least, make sure to follow us on all social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We have been posting, I should say, to TikTok. So make sure to go catch the clips there. And that's it, everyone. We'll catch you later next week for more Jets and Knicks episodes. All right. We out.
JETS, Jets, baby. Let's go.